With that, I'm going to get into the chat, have a little bit of fun. Thank you for everybody that showed up and has questions in the chat, by the way. I truly do appreciate that. What's going on, Salty? Glad you made it in again today, my friend. Jeremiah Love seems to be rising in first-round draft position, but running backs seem to be devalued by the NFL currently. At what position do you think he will be taken? It's number 3 or 4. Just depends. It's going to be the Cardinals, or it's going to be, I guess there could be a trade. Forgot about that. It's possible. Could be it's going to be the Cardinals or the Titans. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody traded up, though. This is the year for something weird to happen in the draft. Wouldn't be surprised. Salty, if a team has a choice between Love, Bain, and Downs, discounting their particular needs, what should be their priority amongst these three? Depends still on some other factors. If you're an offense that's sucking, Love is more likely. If your pass rush sucks, you're going to look at Bain. This is where the trade stuff comes in, too. Most people have Love as the number 1 or 2 player of the draft. There's only like one team, for what one guy said from talking to GMs and stuff. They don't rank Love, just pure football is 1 or 2 in the entire draft. But it's running back, so I get it. If he was a defensive end with that, he'd be number 1 pick of the draft. He might go above Mendoza. He'd at worst go number 2. Having stated that, he's a running back, so that makes it hard. I think part of this just gets down to comfort, too, because those 3 are all great players. Happy draft day to you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it, Salty. Would Jadarian Price be taken in the first round, making 2 Notre Dame first-rounders? I don't know. I think there's a better chance Price goes in the second, but that's just me. Is it better to be an early first-round pick and higher rookie contract, or a later first-round pick with a better team selecting him? I'd rather be the secondary because I can't stand losing, and you're still going to be a millionaire. But that's just me. Is Carnell Tate or Makai Women the better pick at receiver? Probably depends on the team because they were both elite route runners out of high school. It's not ironic to me that they're both going to be first-round picks. They can really run routes. I'm going to go with Women just because I think he's got as good a hands as that I've seen, but it's like 6 one way, half dozen the other. Take your pick. Salty, is this a good draft for offensive linemen? There are some, like just looking at the list. I know somebody said they thought it could go as many as 9 linemen in the first round. We count them up, how many they got right here. This is Ryan Wilson's draft, for whatever it's worth. He's over at CBS Sports. Let's see. He's got Spencer Fano, the big kid out of Utah. We've got Maui Noah. He's got him 9th. Offensive line next is a kid that I couldn't possibly say. The kid out of Penn State, Ione. He's another massive kid. He's interior lineman. That's 14th. Proctor, he's got 17th. That's the 4th guy. Blake Miller out of Clemson. That's 21st. I think that might be a reach, but he's got him. That'd be the 5th lineman. Chase Pasantis, kid going to the Chargers out of Texas A&M. That would be 6th. Caleb Womu out of Utah, redshirt sophomore, going to the Eagles. That'd be 7. And that's a lot of linemen. Max Ian, I don't know how to say his name. I'm not going to butcher it. Out of Arizona State, that'd be 8. The 9 would be Monroe Fielding, number 30 to the Dolphins. That's impressive. 9 guys. That's a lot, man. Would you prefer to draft Bain or Ahmad Carter if they were both in the current draft class? I know more about Bain, so I would go with him, but Carter might fit the profile better, but I just know Bain. Who is the best NFL-style tight end available in the draft? I'm not sure on that one. I don't follow the tight end stuff that much. Raritan, my concern with him is what I talked about a little bit ago. He's been hurt so much, but had a great senior year. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It's probably somebody from a random school if it's not Raritan. Salty, is Mendoza a good fit for the Raiders? Is anyone? The Raiders need everything. I think he'll struggle personally because they need so much. Caden Archer, 6'2", 220, 37-0 as a starter. More touchdowns and incompletions, going to Utah. Really? I don't ask me. I don't know what's going on with that. That's wild. Salty, when I go to sleep, I am scared that Reuben Bain Jr. is under my bed. That's concerning. Name to remember, Dante Dowdell. Yeah, he's a kid that's a kid at Georgia, right? He's third team there, but he's really talented. I'd be scared if Reuben Bain was driving on I-90 4 a.m. Oh, God. Katie, nobody would blame you. That's hilarious. I don't see any gas cans in your Oakley cases, Brian. I've got one that's over there. I've got it customized. It's the one on top back over here. Right, trying to point. That's the only gas can I have. They don't really fit my head. So I like gas cans. They just don't fit my head very well. I need to lose weight so they fit better, to be honest. Mill Creek is usually pretty good, says Raymond. Yes, they are. That program, it's got money. Like the school there is beautiful. It's like a college. I remember walking on campus. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Caleb Downs will always be remembered for the way the great one spun him off to score in championship game. I don't think that'll be the first thing people remember about Caleb. Freeling should have committed to Notre Dame. I don't know what the deal was, but he wanted to go to Georgia, and he's 3 and out. I doubt he's complaining. Q is a no-doubter, says Raymond. He's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. I said that going into the draft. Joe Alt has a chance. He might be a first ballot, too. It's a little early, but he's got a chance. Jets, Raiders, Browns are always top 5. Look, how often do they draft somebody at a position that's based on the position more than the player? You can't just draft quarterback every freaking year, man. Oh, God, it's so bad. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Brian Poen said you keep drafting quarterbacks until you get it right. Yeah, well. Or Bill, that's fine, but that's not true. How many quarterbacks have the Browns drafted over the last 10 years? 4, probably? I mean, they're terrible. Raymond, unfortunately, 5 is true. Number 5, for those who don't remember, I'll just pull it back up here. This is bottom line here, folks. Injury history repeats itself constantly. It's bad. Let's see. DJ7 MPH says, and the Browns still haven't gotten it. The Browns haven't been consistently good since I was a child. I'm 52 years old. They're terrible. Under Chris Greer, the Dolphins at one time had a dozen high draft picks and wasted most of them. They still suck. The Dolphins, they haven't won a Super Bowl in my lifetime. The frickin' Dolphins. That's terrible. Hoping Shroud can stay healthy. Most of the injuries have come from the guy next to him getting whipped. Sometimes that happens, man. Katie, do you live in South Florida? DJ7, I think the wide receiver from Arizona State, as everyone is talking about, has had injury issues. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah, he's talented, though. Katie, yes, Bell Harbor, North Miami Beach. Let's see. My wife is from Hollywood. We lived in Fort Lauderdale for a while. DJ, I think the Cardinals trade down. They need a quarterback badly. Don't spend number 3 on Simpson. Yeah, that's probably right. I think it would be smart. They might draft Jeremiah Love, which I think would be a mistake. You don't take a running back first when you're rebuilding. Take a lineman and a quarterback as a rule. But if there's not a lineman you want that high, and you're not going to get a quarterback that fits that, trade down. It would be smart. This draft has more interior offensive linemen. It's got more than normal. Draft to team needs. Well, true, but don't draft a spot just to take it. That's why the Jets are the Jets. The Browns are the Browns. The Raiders are the Raiders. So is Anthony Knapp salty? Well done. Well done. I don't know if salty is Anthony Knapp and vice versa, but that is funny. A couple of notes here on the recruiting front. There are going to be several commitments over the next few days that are important. A reminder, Elijah Haven, the quarterback out of Baton Rouge, will be making his announcement on the 25th. Everybody assumes it's Bama. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Matter of fact, it's got to be. Georgia's kind of moved on, it seems like, and they were the final two. There's also more commitments coming for Notre Dame. There's also more commitments coming for Georgia and a bunch of schools. Look for Miami to have a little run here. The two schools that I'm most curious about between now and the end of May, though, are in the ACC and not named Miami. They are Florida State and Clemson. Why? Well, they're on the downside after being the two most dominant programs in that league forever. Will Clemson get some commitments prior to May 29th? They might. They do a great job of getting guys early, but May 29th is their big visit weekend. They kill it when the kids visit on May 29th. They got a great list, too. For Florida State, they just need to get some commitments to get some oomph, some momentum. I'm not saying they will. I far trust Dabo and his staff to get that done more than Norvell and his. But if that doesn't happen for Florida State, they're even, if this is possible, in more trouble than they already were. It's not good. Florida State's got a pretty decent official visit list. Quarterback situation's a little iffy, although I'm going to come back to that in a second. Florida State is doing one thing that I think is smart. I think most teams have transitioned to this. But overall, they need some pizzazz. They need some spice. They need some positive news in the media. Florida State doesn't get some here soon. My goodness. It would really be sad. Raymond, I like the gay third kid. Notre Dame just landed. He's definitely not a 3-star. Yeah, he's not. That kid's going to be a great nickel or a safety or both. I think he's tremendous. I think he's a mid-level 4-star. Like, he should be a 91, 92 is what I think. I think he's really, really good. Hurricane Hicks, I hope Chris Bell gets drafted in the second round. He was dominant, then got hurt. It's tough, man. When you've got the injury history, you don't know where kids are going to go in the draft. But, yeah, I get it. He was very talented. Florida State needs to flush the room and start over, Raymond Horton. Look, nobody knows that better than me. I cover Florida State for Locked On Seminoles. What did the Steelers do? They keep letting the Rodgers fruitcake string them along. I mean, Rodgers is still the best option they have as a quarterback. I think it's just one of those spots where, like, it's the same problem that most teams have. Once your franchise quarterback retires, it's probably going to be 10, 15 years before it goes good again. That's where the Steelers are. That's it. And there's just nobody else that they think can get it done, or else they would have done it because the other guys would be cheaper. I'm sure they'd love to move on from Aaron Rodgers. There just aren't remotely enough QBs. There's 32 teams in the NFL. There are probably 12 good quarterbacks. It's not even half. That makes it really, really tough. To that end, a couple other points here. I might as well, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to pull up the latest commitments that we have in college football. Let's see who's committed today. I haven't even checked this today. I'll read them off for the last day or so. What we got here? 21. I'll start off with what we had on the 21st. Benjamin Lother out of Centennial, Arizona, offensive tackle, 6'7", 335, going to Stanford. Khalil Terry has flipped from Notre Dame to UCLA. He's a safety out of Tustin, California. Really good player. Keaton Wolin, Amory, Wisconsin. Never heard of it. Linebacker going to Iowa State. Maryland picks up Davion Vanderbilt. Channelview, wide receiver, 6'1", 195. Going to Maryland. Channelview is quarterback for the Eagles. I believe he played there before he went to Bama. I love this name. The Vandals. Idaho gets Seth Price out of Lake Stevens and Lake Stevens, Washington. Wide receiver, 6'1", 195. Headed to Idaho. Florida Atlantic. Aubrey Johnson out of North Shore, wide receiver, going to Florida Atlantic. Antoine Higgins, linebacker, going to Kentucky out of Anderson High School in Cincinnati. Notre Dame, as we just talked about a minute ago, John Gay, Chaminade Madonna in Hollywood, Florida, safety, going to play for the Fighting Irish. Manir Lewis out of Brush High School in Cleveland, Ohio, edge rusher, 6'5", 245, going down to Louisville. Utah picks up Tiki Teeples. Canyon View, Waddell, Arizona, defensive lineman, 6'4", 265. He will be a Ute. Will Menzel picks Oregon. That's a big pickup for them. I'll probably talk more about that. I'll do a separate show on him and why that's a big pickup for the Ducks. But Now, what does Auburn do? Now that Menzel has picked the Ducks, is Auburn going to find a quarterback? They're kind of in middle of nowhere with their quarterback situation, and they need a splash. Kendre Porter Jr. out of Newton High School, Newton, Texas. He's an athlete, 5'9", 165. He will go play for Houston. And Hawaii, it's the last one. Jaden Jefferson out of Corona Centennial, Corona, California, quarterback, 5'9", 170. 5'9", 170, going to play Division I quarterback. How about that? That's awesome. Good for him, man. Check it out, man. 5'9", 170. You don't see that very often. Let's go back down here. Let's see. Who else do we have in the chat? Raymond. And the Steelers are always drafting in that 21 to 22 position. They're a team that barely makes the playoffs but don't have enough juice to do anything, or they barely missed the playoffs. It's one or the other. They need something to happen. You're right. Hurricane Hicks. Beck rumored to Steelers among other teams. That would be interesting. Raymond. Better be third round Hurricane. Let's see. Probably if Jets or Browns don't get him earlier. Well, I'm not sure what I would do. We talk about Carson Beck? How good do we think Carson Beck is going to be in the NFL? Like, he fits the profile, size, arm, and all that. But do we think Carson Beck is going to be an NFL guy that actually plays or just gets drafted? I think it's more the latter. Like, he might play a little bit because everybody gets a shot. But I'm not thinking that he can really handle the NFL. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but prove me wrong. I don't see Carson Beck being a starter at the National Football League level. To that end, let me search real quick. NFL draft news before I wrap it up. Make sure there's nothing that's happened, no trades, nothing like that before we get done here with the live show. Doesn't look like anything's happened yet. By the way, I predict at least 4 trades in the first round. That's my prediction for today. Just think it's going to happen. We'll see. Oh, wow. By the way, Mike Vrabel to miss day 3 of the NFL draft for counseling. Jesus. Wow, that is crazy. I don't see anything major. Looks like the NFL draft is kind of where it's at. So thank you to everybody that came in and checked us out again today. It's a lot of fun. But I don't think that the draft is going to do anything besides be a lot of fun tonight. Oh, Katie says Beck will be a great fit in Cleveland. Don't get me started on that. Yeah, good backup. Backup will hold a clipboard. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think too. Everybody has that same thought. I think Nuss will be a better quarterback. He unfortunately played for the quarterback killer named Brian Kelly. That's probably right. Beck will be selling insurance in Jacksonville within 3 years. Oh, wow. Hurricane Hicks, but in Cleveland or not, he might not start. That's funny. Vrabel got caught banging Rossini. Yes, he did. They didn't try to hide it, though. Like, they were in public, so it is what it is. All right, folks, I appreciate everybody stopping in once again. This has been the Portal Podcast live show. My tentative plan for tomorrow, barring anything crazy with the draft, I might just mention a few things with the draft for tomorrow's show, is I'm going to talk about Georgia and Notre Dame because I think they're the 2 most likely teams to finish in the top 2 right now. Maybe Oregon, maybe some others, but based who's on the board, just kind of like early thoughts. And I'm going to go over some other teams, Ohio State, Texas, and others, Texas A&M, all those teams kind of going over it long term. We'll see. But tomorrow, my thoughts on why Georgia or Notre Dame could finish number 1. We'll still talk about A&M and some other schools too, but that will be tomorrow's show. Everybody have a good one. This has been the Portal Podcast.